what did you want? What did you want the court to order for you in terms of visitation and custody and child support?
Well, I mean, after we went in with the for the temporary, it was just for the weekends. But when we wanted 7 days on, 7 days off.
So what I can recall is that you wanted every other week, so 7 days on, 7 days off, right?
That's correct.
And you wanted to have decision-making authority when it came to schooling as well as extracurricular activities, right?
That's correct.
And you did not want to have to pay child support.
That's right? Correct.
Do you remember what Mom wanted?
Mom, I know Mom wanted me to pay child support.
Yeah.
Mom wanted to say so over schooling. Mom wanted to say so over extracurricular. I feel like because she know that I'm into the sports and the extracurricular. And she wanted me to get her every other weekend.
Right.
Which was like, I think 4 days out the month.
Right.
For Friday and Saturday.
Exactly. So when we went to court, we asked the judge to grant what we prayed for, which was the every other week, no child support, and you have the decision-making authority on schooling as well as the extracurricular activity, right?
That's correct.
And did you get that?
Got everything I asked for.
Okay. Welcome back to part 3 of our Speaking with Father series, featuring Eddrick Johnson. Can you tell us how mediation was? What was that like?
Nah. we went to mediation. We went to mediation, you know what I'm saying? And I can recall I was offering a child support. Was I right?
Yep.
I was offering to pay, and I was saying that I can get her every weekend?
I think so, yeah.
I think because I was driving over the road at the time. And I offered it and that was denied. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I tried everything, and when we went to mediation, I honestly knew we weren't gonna get it done, for the simple fact the other side wasn't complying with nothing we were doing.
So just so folks can understand, every effort we made offers to do certain type of visitation, certain type of custody arrangement. We even agreed to pay for to do child support. We even agreed to pay for all the activities in lieu of child support, and everything that we offer, she said no, hands down, right?
Hands down, no.
Right, and then even in mediation, we had to cut it short because she wasn't even willing to negotiate, right?
No, they wasn't willing to negotiate.
Right.
And no, they wasn't.
And then it was a long process for sure, but even during that process, she was still not even willing to allow you to visit even during that time, right?
Yeah, I don't think she knew that this situation was as serious as it was. Maybe she thought I went and got somebody from down the street to represent me, and I tell people all the time, you know what I'm saying, I love bragging about my attorney and whatever, but you know what I'm saying, like she really get down to bed.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that's beautiful all day long. So I want to talk about your case, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So when we started your case, do you remember there was some homework that I gave you? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what homework that was?
What I mean, hold on. What homework is we talking about? The stay consistent.
Right. So if you remember when we first got started, I told you we need to be able to show the court what efforts we made. You remember that?
Yes.
Can you tell us what were those things that we discussed? And I call it homework. So
right. I mean, what we did discuss, is just, pretty much never giving up. Just, when you send your text messages, you're not getting a response. Keep texting. You know what I'm saying? And just stay consistent in what you're doing. And I was staying consistent, but my consistencies were genuine. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're blocked, keep trying. Keep trying. Call. Get a friend phone and call. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Call private if it's necessary. If it's necessary to you. It was necessary for me. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whatever it takes, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't, all the negative, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get frustrated, but I mean, hey, do what you gotta do. Do your homework.
So there were times when you actually tried to reach out to mom using someone else's phone or private.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I want everyone to know it wasn't that you were just sending text messages. There was a specific way that you sent your texts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to let the folks know that was something that I don't want to say I taught you, but that's something we discussed. How to respond, how to send these text messages out, right?
Right.
Do you mind me going in a little details about your case?
No, I don't.
Okay. So do you remember that I had you actually send text messages and make efforts to try to reach your daughter in like a period of 90 days, which is 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
You sent text messages, you called, you sent FaceTime, Facebook, and for 90 days she didn't respond at all. Do you remember that?
Correct.
And then,
yeah, I do. I remember that.
Yeah. And then over a period, I think another 6 months, she only maybe responded 30 times. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so how can you just tell us what was that like when you were calling literally like weekly and texting? Because we showed your text messages. I think we also showed your call logs. And of course, we showed your social media with your efforts to try to reach your daughter. Could you tell us how that made you feel when there was no response?
I mean, once I wasn't getting a response, it was just like, throwing like, you really ain't gonna respond to me, because it was to a point where, like I said, I understand those guys that says, you know what, I'm gonna wait till she 18, or you know what I'm saying. I understand those guys, but it had got to a point for me where I was just like, I didn't understand my situation. I don't think I fully understood why I was going through these things. I honestly don't. I mean, I honestly don't like it.
Okay, can you tell everyone about Core? I mean, I can tell it, but I want you to tell it.
I mean, just from my standpoint, you know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact of I've been hurting this long. You've laughed at my pain. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now that it's on the other side, we was in court, man. I can recall one time we went on break, and there was an older guy there, and he was sitting in on our case or whatever, and the older guy, he got up and he walked out and he gave me a fist bump, and he was like, "Do your thing, young man." You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was motivated. You know what I'm saying? And he just gave me a assurance like, man, you doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Handle your business. You know. But I mean, I enjoyed court. Never seen that like it. You know what I'm saying? I got called to the stand. So, you know, but I enjoyed it. I think what happened was, you know what I'm saying, you got up on the skin. I think for me in the situation, it made her even more angrier with me because I was sitting back enjoying. I didn't have to do nothing. Then she brought her exhibits. She didn't submit them because she was trying to be her own attorney, and they didn't work. So, you know.
So that was the first hearing, right? That was a temporary hearing. What, in terms of, what did you want? What did you want the court to order for you in terms of visitation and custody and child support?
Well, I mean, after we went in with the for the temporary, it was just for the weekends. But when we wanted 7 days on, 7 days off because I didn't want to be a part-time father. You know what I'm saying? I believe in whatever I do that there's a saying that we ain't doing part-time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, part-time work is not allowed here. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it to the fullest. You know, we're gonna maximize on every chance that we get a shot at it or whatever. And I didn't want to be a part-time dad. You know what I'm saying? And even going through the courts and not getting the visitation that you need, make you a part-time dad. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Because it becomes it comes to a point where now somebody got to make you. So for people that don't take what's the word I'm looking for? People that don't take orders well. You know what I'm saying? Now so it become okay. Well, you get her every other weekend. If the person is still bitter or mad or emotional, that's what it is. It's every other weekend. So now you become an every other weekend day. You know what I'm saying? And I just believe in being a full-time dad. I'm active at school. You know, I mean, sports, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. We full-time, not part-time.
So what I can recall is that you wanted every other week, so 7 days on, 7 days off, right?
That's correct.
And you wanted to have decision-making authority when it came to schooling as well as extracurricular activities, right?
That's correct.
And you did not want to have to pay child support.
That's right? Correct.
Do you remember what mom wanted?
I know mom wanted me to pay child support.
Yeah.
Mom wanted to say so over schooling. Mom wanted to say so over extracurricular. I feel like because she know that I'm into the sports and the extracurricular. And she wanted me to get her every other weekend.
Right.
Which was like, I think 4 days out the month.
Right.
For Friday and Saturday.
Exactly. So when we went to court, we asked the judge to grant what we prayed for, which was the every other week, no child support, and you have the decision-making authority on schooling as well as the extracurricular activity, right?
That's correct.
And did you get that?
Got everything I asked for.
Okay. That's what
I tell people God did you.
Yep, that's the slogan.
And I really believe it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it just, you know, I mean, from what I went throughout the whole situation, words can't explain how thankful, how grateful, appreciative I am of you, you know what I'm saying? Because I can remember the time where just riding down the street and I just break down crying like, man, it got to be a better way, you know what I'm saying? And I honestly put my trust in you, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I can recall you used to always say, I can't promise you nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think you used to tell me that to keep me like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you it's gonna happen. But I'm doing everything I can. And when you used to tell me I can't promise you nothing, sometimes I'd be like, well, why you say all this before you said that? You know what I'm saying? And I started to really believe that, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to call people like, man, you said this right here, but she told me she can't promise me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I started blocking out the hope because I already, I was trusting and believing, like, how the old people say it's already done. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I really believed that it was already done. I had faith in my situation and know that I'd come out on top, and that we did.
Okay. So do you think you could have represented yourself in that instance?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So go ahead.
It ain't happening. I'm gonna tell you why though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it takes time. Mm-hmm. You gotta have the right wording. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be courtroom ready. Now, by me saying that, I'm getting to, you know what I'm saying, like the other side, they tried to be the attorney. You know what I'm saying? They tried to be the attorney. They tried to put me on the stand, and they failed tremendously. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna go to court, get you some representation, and y'all get in there and make it happen.
So one of the things that I know I want people to understand is that the first hearing she represented herself, right? Yeah. But she eventually hired a lawyer. You remember?
I remember.
So I want to just let folks know that the case may proceed differently if the other side is representing themselves. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you can't win even if they have an attorney, right? Right. What do you think was your strongest evidence or your strongest point that you were able to win?
When you prove that those times that I wasn't able to see my child, and I can recall in court, you was asking her about visitation, and you said your words were, so why she was saying that I could get my daughter while she was at work. And your response was, so in other words, you need a babysitter.
And her response was, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
and the evidence showed that, right?
Right. Correct. So, you know what I'm saying? And it was just stuff like that, man. It was shocking that, you know what I'm saying, she responded with some of the answers. And I mean, we had fun in court though.
Okay, most people don't understand the fun part because, for the most part, most people think court is scary, and it can be probably won't win. Was there anything else was fun about court?
The outcome.
Of course. So we had the second hearing, but we didn't have a second hearing. We eventually resolved the case through a series of negotiations, right?
Correct.
Can you let everyone know how that resolved itself?
Well, after they tried to hit her with the flim flam, they tried to hit her with the flim flam, and we, when we got their order, and I guess they thought we weren't gonna read over it. You know, well educated. We read it. You know, put our reading glasses on. We read, you know, and we sent it back, and we let them know that nah, this ain't what we prepared. You know what I'm saying? And once they got on board with what was going on, they tried to act like they didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I guess they wanted us to sign, but we did. And once they got on board, we were able to move forward.
Okay. And do you recall what happened that was really, really unique to your situation because of that? You call it flam flam. Do you recall what happened?
I don't.
Okay. They end up paying your attorney fees?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They paid my attorney fees. Man, we had a good case, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's so much good I forget sometimes. But
so they actually paid your attorney fees twice. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
So the first time at the temporary hearing, they paid your attorney fees.
That's correct.
And mom had to pay your attorney fees. Do you remember?
Right.
And that's
I remember.
a very long time because at times she refused to pay. And
right.
Then we were like, we're going to file a motion for contempt if you don't, and you're going to jail.
Yeah, I remember calling sometimes saying we need that money, man. We got to have that money, and
right. And then the second time, the attorney's office paid the attorney fees. You remember that?
Correct.
Right. I presume that the cost was worth it.
The cost most definitely. No money in the world. If I had to go through this situation again, like I said earlier, I had to go through this situation again, 10 times worse, and $1 million later to get what I got, to be able to share the bond that I share with my daughter, I'd do it again.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell dads or advice you want to give them, regardless of anything?
I mean, if I can give a dad any advice, man, just never give up. Give it your all, man. These kids are the future. They are, you know what I'm saying, our world, you know what I'm saying? I give it my all to be a father, man. And there's no better joy that it brings me to, share this earth. I love my family. I love my kid, man. If you got any heart, you know what I'm saying, as a man, I challenge you to be a man.
Okay. Now, can you tell those dads who actually are looking to hire an attorney, in terms of costs, what should they be looking for? What kind of advice do you have to give to them?
I mean, just my thing is get some. For those that looking to hire an attorney, man, get somebody that's really willing to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody who genuinely do this from the heart. Like, don't just go hire Mr. Harrell because Mr. Harrell been in being in 30 years, and he done won little Tommy K down the street. Get somebody who really, you know what I'm saying, who gonna listen to you, feel them out, you know what I'm saying, hear what they got to say, you say what you got to say, and you know what I'm saying, listen to the response, and if it ain't, you know what I'm saying, if the energy ain't matching, then get up out of there, but make sure you get somebody, you know what I'm saying, who really gonna listen to you, who gonna take heed of your situation, you know what I'm saying. You don't want to be in those situations where you got to tell lies. You know what I'm saying? Talk to your attorney. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should be able to become, like, I can talk to you, you talk to me, and we can, you know what I'm saying, get some stuff done, man. Don't go spending your money on Mr. Harold.
When I first met you, you had a regular 9-to-5 or regular job. You was working, doing trucks, cross country or local, something like that, right? Yeah. And you were working for someone, right?
Uh-huh.
But since that time period, you are now in business for yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm in business for myself.
You are married now?
That's correct.
You've been married, what, is it a year or 2 years now?
A year now.
Okay. And I think you got a new home, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you got a new home, and you got your baby girl, right?
That's correct.
And she's with you every day pretty much, because now you and mom have a better relationship, right?
Yeah, me and mom got a better relationship now. You know, she's here, she's there. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it, you know, she go with mom, you know, me and mom communicate more now.
Okay.
You know, she's here now, or whatever. She been trying to get on the camera forever, but
okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, we in a better spot now than what we were.
So I first of all, if you want to, you know, do a plug for your company, go ahead and do that. You want to do it?
I mean, you know, we Eddrick Trucking, man. If you want to need brokerage or dispatching, Johnson's Logistics. You know, you find your dispatch, get your loads booked or whatever. That'll be my wife, but me, I'm Eddrick Trucking. You need your freight haul, you know, call. Don't hesitate.
Okay, so before we leave, Mr. Johnson, can I call you Eddrick? Because you know I've never called you by your first name, right? Can I call you Eddrick?
Yeah.
I feel like I can call you Eddrick now. So Eddrick has said that he's willing to come back because first of all, he said this ain't that spicy. So I want to bring him back to talk about some more spicy stuff like child support, the reason why women may have an issue with it. And we might have an opportunity to have folks ask questions, call in or something like that. You good with that, Eddrick?
Yeah, I'm good with that. We're gonna name the episode Let's Get Spicy.
Okay. I've listed Mr. Johnson's contact information for Johnson Logistics in the description. Well, this brings us to the end of our episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, were encouraged, inspired, and you learned something new and helpful. As always, you're not in this alone. Don't stop fighting. Your children do need you. Please join us next Sunday at 7 p.m. wherever you listen to podcasts or on our YouTube channel next Monday. If you enjoyed this episode or if it was helpful in any way, please consider following us and sharing this episode on all podcast platforms or on our YouTube channel. Hit the like button, share this episode with other fathers, and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment or suggestions of topics you would like us to explore. Until next time, this is your Father's Advocate, Attorney Hughes.